Hi, my name is Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time finding the podcast, welcome. I'm happy you found me. And if you are returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. Well, what will I talk about today? I know it's crazy because I am coming up just within another month. I'm assuming I will be at 300 episodes, and I never thought I would actually be here with 300 episodes. In fact, when I first started, I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't know if I was going to really have anything worthy to say to anybody, and would anyone listen, let alone subscribe. And I still only with close to 300 episodes, I only have 12 subscribers. Hey, I remember when I had none, where it was zero. But you want to notice what I noticed the other day? In my Twitter account, because all my podcast goes to Twitter as well, I have quite a few listeners, and I just realized something. A lot of people have been listening through Twitter, and I don't know if they actually see that they can subscribe to the podcast itself, but yeah, it's amazing the followers I have now on Twitter, and I'm happy to see that I do have a couple of followers, more than 12. So it's kind of funny because I remember when Google first said, hey, look, we have Google Podcasts, but no longer are we going to be doing Google Podcasts. We're going to be basically sending everything over to YouTube. And it was almost like starting from scratch. But I didn't realize how many people I have listening on Twitter. And that's amazing. I'm pretty stoked about that. But I am coming up on close to 300 episodes. I'm at 282 right now, and this one that I am talking to you on is 283. So, having said that, I am pretty happy of what I've achieved, what I've done, because doing this podcast, when I first started out to do this podcast, I talked about my relationship with my wife, and I talked about how I felt when she passed, and I talked about all those things. And then in January, I wanted to take a different turn and wanted to talk about change, how we can change our life and how we can make our lives a whole lot better. So I am thanking all who listen, because I am learning on this podcast as I go. And yes, I have taken courses just so I can have an impact on certain things that I might say on this show. So I know I'm not the best person out there. I'm not a guru. I don't have a lot of followers, but I do know, and I do see the numbers. I am growing, and I don't advertise. That's pretty cool too. I don't advertise. I get people who write me, and when I first started this podcast, I didn't have that many listeners. And the people who wrote me, they went through the same thing, or was going through what I went through when I lost my wife. There was other people who lost their spouses, and they felt that they were all alone. And as I was bearing my soul on this podcast, a lot of people started writing me, letting me know that I'm not alone, that they're going through the same thing or have gone through the same thing, and it looks like they're about to go through the same thing. Hey, you know what? In life, we all have our stories. We all have our experiences, and we all experience something that's devastating to us at one point in time in life. I am happy that I have this platform. I am happy that I might be able to touch someone's life. I'm happy that the fact that I might be able to say something that will propel a person to move forward instead of just sitting in the shadows of their own despair. I am very happy that I have an opportunity to not only speak with people that I don't know, but people in different countries. The other day, someone contacted me from the Netherlands, and I never thought my podcast would reach anything outside of Texas, but it has. And that is pretty amazing there, because their story, they told me and thanked me for the podcast that we talked about how to change our own lives and what I was going through. They said that it resonated with them and that they thanked me for doing that podcast at that time. It was meant for them to hear. That really is what this whole thing is about: changing someone's life, or saying something that I've gone through that might resonate with someone, to let them know, hey, we can pull through this whole ordeal together. You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to be alone. You have somebody that you can count on. I am here. If you need me to talk with you, I am here. I love the fact that I can answer emails and they can answer them right back. And then the things that I do to basically help someone else along the lines, I'm just paying it forward, because you want to know why? I have people in my life who pour into me and help me along the way in my hard times, and I want to be able to pay it forward by pouring it into the lives of others. It doesn't matter. That's what it's all about. We uplift one another. We help one another, and we show our compassion and love toward one another. And yes, I said the word Lord because, hey, I'm a Christian person. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus in my life. I believe in all these things. I just hope and trust that you do too. And you don't have to. You don't have to believe in God and Jesus. If that's not your thing, it doesn't matter to me. As long as you can move forward and make your life better and touch the lives of others and make their lives better and enhance the lives of the people that you touch and come in contact with, it's all good. If you're doing something to uplift someone, if you're doing something to touch someone's life to make it better, it's good. Because that's what we're all about. And you know what? I think we're all social creatures. And there was a time where there's still times, if I'm being perfectly candid, there are times where I don't want to talk to anybody. There are times where I don't want to be around anybody. But it's okay, because you want to know, there are times where I do want to be around people. There are times when I do want to talk to other people. I think we all have those moments. We all need those moments where we can sit back and say to ourselves and take time to reflect on our lives and what's going on in our lives, and making sure that we are taking care of our loved ones and taking a moment to look at them and say, hey, look, I appreciate you. I love you. I think everyone needs to hear that, and not just hear it in passing, because it means nothing. People say I love you so much today, it doesn't really mean anything. And people say it with a smile. People say it doesn't really mean anything until you grab hold of that person, look them in their eyes, and come from your heart deep down inside and say, I appreciate everything you do. I appreciate you. I love you. That matters. When they can see sincerity in your eyes and you've taken a moment to stop everything, halt time, just to say, I love you, I appreciate you. When's the last time you told your kids, I love you? I mean, in the moment, in saying, hey, look, stop, not passing, but hold on to them and look them deep in their eyes and say, I love you, you mine. I love you, you're my daughter, you're my son, I love you. I appreciate you. I think we all need to hear it at times. When was the last time you told your husband, your wife, or your significant other, you appreciate them, you love them? I think it's time. I think it's time to say that. And if you're saying it, kudos to you. Awesome. I appreciate it. They appreciate it. And I know you are more loved for it. Hey, listen. I just wanted to touch base with you guys to let you know that I am so happy. I'm coming on close to 300 episodes, the last podcast, and I want you to continue to share, continue to listen, to continue to like. It means a lot to me, but it helps me to continue to move forward as well. Because at one point I was ready to stop, and I thought about it. I said, you know what, even if nobody listens, if I could just touch one person's life, then it was all well worth it to me. And now it is. So I'll just keep on talking, because it's not just talk, it's talk with substance. It's talk with dialogue. It's talk with context, with meaning, with love, with understanding. And that means a lot. So I want to thank you so much for listening. Be blessed. Have a wonderful week. And don't forget to listen on Friday. I'll have 2 brand new poems for you and a little music as well. I'm trying to work on, I don't know if I have this new instrumental ready for Friday, but I am working on one, and I hope you guys like it. But until then, be blessed and have a great day. Bye-bye.